Okay, thank you, Marco. Michael Taylor, you are next on The Price is Right.
Hey. All right. Thank you, Don, for your time tonight. And it seems like it was a good presentation, even though I got in late and had another meeting going on later than it normally does. But I will go back and listen to this recording, and it sounds like a good one. So I'm looking forward to it. But one question that I think will fit in and not be redundant is there are a lot of people that are interested in ecotourism and sustainable living and productivity, increasing the fertility of the land and so on. Do you find that people, I'm thinking about, there are several deals that I could do right now, but I don't know how to structure it, and the returns may not be as high as other deals. Are people getting into situations like this whereby they're willing to, for the ethics of the environment, the impact upon the community, the people that will be involved in that deal, are they? Is that a value add that they're willing to sacrifice some of the interest rate or return on?
Well, yes, potentially yes, and I described my angel investor. So in this case, she's just doing loans, or buying notes at a 5% yield if she knows it's helping a real family, and because that's what's important to her. So yes, you have angel investors that you can find for all sorts of things. I don't, it's outside of my wheelhouse to really, talk much more about that instead of just in a loan or a note situation. But I will say, I have a little bit of that in my blood as well, as you can imagine with my parallel. Like I'm not getting caught in this system if I can help it, right? I don't know what's coming down. All the stuff they tried during COVID, that was like wow. That was, I got some PTSD from that. So really, it's like, heads up. There's the agenda, and how can I position? And so I did just come across a piece of land, because in my mind, it's like, we have to, I hope it doesn't happen. I don't want all the drama. At this point, I like just easy sitting on the porch out there, and it's just so peaceful. My normal everyday life. I love it. But if it does, what would I want to do with the capital and the assets that I have? Well, I want to create these communities. I want housing for people. What I know how to do, I've helped my family members and people I know in my world and people that work for me. I've helped them get into homes. I've helped them refinance. I've helped them all get a lot of things done without the bank system, without Wall Street. And I got a piece of land over here, just a couple miles from my house, and I got a good owner carry deal on it. Like, and I put it in my IRA, or no, my 401k. I barely had to put any money down, and it's not that much per month. And I go, that's 10 acres, but I can see I'm going to assemble that 2 acres and that 10 acres, and maybe even if things go well, I'll buy that other 40 acres, and okay, then I can create a truly sustainable thing. So in my mind, I'm aiming toward those same type of goals, but I know there are angel investors that will, invest in different projects, but that's very, I wouldn't have a database of that. So I'm sorry, I can't really be very helpful there.
Any suggestions of particular meetings to go to or groups to get involved with?
For the eco stuff? Well, I think for anything, you've got to have a really well-developed executive summary. It can't be just like feel-good hippie stuff. You got to have some numbers crunched out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So you've got people that are willing to take very little yield for something they believe in, but they want to know it's not just going to be spread to the wind. You know what you're doing. There's accountability. There's a plan. There's support to make it all happen. I would guess it's like you gotta. I would hire somebody if I was developing a project that I wanted other people's money for. I would hire somebody to help me package it, because I don't know how to do that. But I plan to be able to fund my own stuff because, you know, hey, I got into crypto a long time ago, so that's one of these points.
Good. And what neck of the woods are you in?
I'm
I
in,
missed that.
Carson City, Nevada, the Reno, Tahoe area, so northwest
Okay.
Nevada. I'm twice as far from Las Vegas as I was when I lived in LA. So don't say, "Oh, Las Vegas." No, I can't stand Las Vegas. I'm sorry if I offend anyone. It's the least like me city in the whole planet, you know. So I don't like Las Vegas.
So have you heard of the Earthship Village or neighborhood in Taos, New Mexico?
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that.
Not too far from you compared to us in Cincinnati. But
Yeah, that's still a couple days drive, but anyway, yeah, I made my kids. I made a whole community thing when my kids graduated from high school and they're still living at the house. I'm like, I'm sick of you guys. I'm busting my butt to build a business, and I'm walking by, and you're watching your what? Your second movie on Hulu? No. So I created this whole economy for the household. I went back like a mad thing, and I had like 7 pages of here's how the system works, and blah, blah, blah. And I pasted them all over the refrigerator and said, we're having a family meeting. And everyone's so offended by it, but it actually worked out really well. You're part of the system. If you don't have cash, what can you contribute? There's non-cash ways to contribute value. So we just created the balance of it. If you have more cash than time, then you can pay your portion of based on your square footage of your room and you're driving the car this much and blah, 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 blah. Okay, this is how much you owe. But if you don't have that, here's the qualified things you can do to create value and earn your place in the family until you can get out of here. Because, you know, I had artists and entrepreneurs and world travelers for kids. Nobody went to college in the traditional sense. Nobody. I just had these wonderful entrepreneur artist type kids. And so, but anyway, I'm just saying, when you understand this, note investing and real estate and all the different sides, it trains your brain to think in different ways that you can apply to a family, to multi-families living together, to tiny home communities. But, you know, I want to have food and horses that someone else takes care of and I just get to ride, and goats and cows, I don't know, you know, all the things, chickens. I'm going to get, okay, when it comes to the point where when they say, you know, I'm never going to be the one that like, I'm going to get canceled. If anyone's going to get canceled, I'm going to get canceled. I'm going to get cut off from the beast system. I don't know. So I just know that I want to have those things growing as possibilities, you know. So how do you survive when things are getting weird and they, you know, there may for a time be a very totality. We already know, they know every move we make, everything we say.
Yes.
You know, so to me, there might be a time where it's like you have to make a choice between your cell phone and your sovereignty. Like, that's going to be interesting.
And Kevin Sharkey, you are up next.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it, Dawn. I mean, this is a lot of stuff. Very good. You know, trying to wrap my mind around really 2 things that are in front of me that I guess I really kind of looking for a little help with the ideas or the structure or just a way. I mean, one's a little 3-unit across the street and the seller's actually open to financing. So I proposed to him like a master lease with an option, trying to see how I can help him create his part of the seller finance note, you know, for maybe a little bit of a discount, or so I can kind of, you know, get a management fee or just create the spread when I want to increase some of the rents. And then I have another short one after that, but this is kind of the first one in my mind.
So to me, you said master lease, and then you said seller financing.
Yeah, so he owes 150, but he's asking 6. So if I can, you know, help him create a note for the balance of his asking price, it's a little bit enticing for him.
How much money can you bring to the table?
That's the thing. I really don't have much. You know, I'm trying to find a way to either bring a capital partner in to split this with me and structure the deal and get it going,
like a
So I have
JV
somebody I was
partner.
talking to on that. Yeah.
Well, if you basically, why do you want to get rid of that 150 note? Because if you probably could not get caught just doing the lease. So what does it matter that that note's there if you're just leasing it? What's his?
Really not. I mean, that's the thing. I'm trying to keep it in place because of his rate. You know, I mean, he's open. He likes the idea of not having to pay all the capital gains on it. And he likes the payments. I mean, he's getting probably about 5,000 more than what he owed, like what his PITI would be.
From your proposed lease payment.
No, well, from his current tenants paying. He's just
yeah.
looking for me to take over the headache.
So, but the loan's just gonna stay there. It's the bank owns the note, and he's the payer of the note, and it's not gonna get accelerated. It's very unlikely if you just do a lease. Are you doing a lease with option or just the lease master?
Yeah, I would like the option to own it later. And
Because then if you get the option, but then make the option that he's gonna owner finance for you as the exit, you know, when it's time to exercise the option, it'd be great to have seller financing as the exit one. And then at that point, maybe that point you have money you could put down to, if there's still a loan balance, right? When it gets to that point, you can try subject to. I just don't like it. If you can do anything besides a sub 2, well, it's fine to do a sub 2 for yourself. Just don't be wholesaling them. I think that's really dicey. But
yeah, I don't want to do that. He also has a realtor involved that he's loyal to. He put this thing on the market, and he's probably not getting what he thought he wanted to get. So if I can get him his asking price, he still wants to find a way. And that's what you mentioned something about having a realtor involved. How can I pay this realtor in the middle of a seller finance if I don't have any money really to bring down? I'm trying to collect the management fee and increase the rent, you know, later on.
well, realtors only get paid a commission if there's a transfer of title.
Right.
Or then it's going to shift to they get a leasing fee, maybe.
Well,
You know, so
that
he's
kind
going to
of,
have to come out of pocket for it. The seller will. If you don't have any money, the seller's going to have to come out of pocket. But hey, that's not bad, you know, for the 6% leasing fee or whatever. But he's going to get his full price, and just down the road, when you have enough money to do an owner finance because theoretically it would be standard underwriting for you to have 150 on a, what is it, 500 or 600?
yeah, he's asking 6, but he owes 150.
Okay, so for you to come in with a 25% down payment would be a market expectation. If 600 is truly the value of the property, sometimes they want more, but if they'll take less, so theoretically, if that agent and he were to offer owner financing, he might find someone in the market that's willing to put down 150, 200,000.
Well, that was kind of leading into my next one. Like, I'm also a licensed agent, and I'm trying to, I was going to be the buyer on this one, but it was more going into what you said before about how can I create my own, like if I were to take less commission on something and just collect payments later, is how to create.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great thing to put in the hopper, but in this particular deal that you're describing, I don't see its relevance.
Yeah, that wasn't really for this one. It was more for another deal I'm working on that I'm trying to plan ahead.
Because sometimes, like, there's only so much money on the table at the closing, and if your commission is messing that up, carry it. If your broker will let you.
Well, I told him as the buyer, like, I'm not coming in as a realtor. Like, if I can work this out and make you payments, we'll find a way to pay your realtor, and I won't collect anything. I'm just a buyer. I'm master leasing the property with an option to buy it later.
Yeah. So if you've got a lease, you don't have a note. You got one or the other.
Yeah, but he wants to create a second for the. You know, he eventually wants to pay off the 150 with the income that's coming in, and then he said he'll sit in a second position for the balance of the 600.
Well, so what we're talking about is he's selling that would be a selling with subject to the existing financing.
Oh, okay. I see what
You're
yeah.
not going to have a note until you actually buy the property and get on title. If you're talking master lease, that's a like get you by until you have the money, until you increase the rents, and then you exercise some sort of predetermined, hopefully seller financing exit. And by that time, the loan will be lower, maybe, or you'll have a capital partner, or if it gets paid off, then he's carrying in first position. But as long as everybody knows, like if you just disclose to all parties what's going on and the what ifs, like, okay, if this does happen, whose job is it to fix it? Because you know what? Sometimes a seller will come out of pocket and you will think the deal doesn't make sense. If you were them, you would not do this, but they're going, it makes sense. I'm going to take money out of this retirement or this savings account. I'm going to pay off the loan so I can carry in first position. So don't assume people won't do that. Sometimes they will. You know, they have other money sitting around and they just, they'll pay off their note so that they can carry in first position. But until you are the owner and you're paying on a note, there's nothing to take a first right of refusal on. There's nothing for you to help the seller sell because he doesn't have a note to sell. The note that's in this situation is owned by the bank.
You know, I think that's where I was kind of leading on this, is if he does owe about the 150, but he's asking a significant amount more. If there's a way I can talk to him and say like, hey, do you have this money? Can we knock out that first lien? Now you're in first position on the seller fine, and then kind of help him create it. I don't know if that's really an option.
So are you still being the principal buyer, or are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
Being a
No, I'm
consultant?
looking. I would love to own the place. Eventually, when one tenant moves out, I want to move into one unit and just kind of start build like house hacking my portfolio.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, but I don't. There's no point until you're at the point where, I mean, why would he take $150,000 down to give you a zero down owner financing? Why would he? That doesn't make any sense. While it's a master lease, just leave it there, and you're taking the headache off of him. He's still getting great income. You're gonna build, and maybe even over the time, you'll become like his grandson or his son.
Yeah.
And maybe he'll, at that point, he goes, you know what, Kevin, you don't need 20% down, man. Call it 10. Give me 10 grand. I'll carry this for you. I trust you with my life. I've seen that happen because you don't have the cash equity, but you have the character equity, the reputation equity, and the relationship equity.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I hope that helped.
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
Circles a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. And then I guess I'll try to reach out in the future as well. But I mean, as an agent, I like what you mentioned too. Coming across these opportunities, I just want to connect and solve a problem for the seller, connect a buyer that may be willing to, but I want to stay in them longer. I don't just want a small commission, then give, a portion of it to the broker. If I can stay in these things longer, and then if I can eventually create my own notes to do that. I don't know. I guess I would need the broker's permission, unless I'm just doing it as a consultant or a wholesaler at that point. How do I kind of work myself into that and get a piece of it longer?
I like your thinking. I like the thinking. That's the right orientation. And sometimes it's not possible, but it's still fun to make something happen, get paid to make something happen for someone else. So not every deal we get to keep a piece of. That's why I said at the end, okay, here's what I really want. I'm in long game still. I guess I don't know how old I am or something. Like, this is for my kids, But I'm like, I want the long game of buying with owner financing and buying partials of other people's notes. But if I can't get what I want for my portfolio, I want 3 ways to make cash money, get paid, put food on the table. Agent, wholesale, property, wholesale notes. If I can't keep it for my portfolio or with my partners, I want a way to make money. I want all the ways to make money I can, because we don't know what's going to happen. So we got to stay light on our feet. We got to have sea legs and, connect.
Well, thank you, Dawn. That is awful high praise coming from you. We really appreciate it. We do try to put on good, valuable content every month. That's what we're after here. Exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you. This has been really, really fun. Normally I'm exhausted. I'm looking at the thing 3 hours, but I'm like, wow.
That's what I mean. You still got 32 people on here, so. But we don't want to keep her on all night. Does anyone have any last questions here for Dawn Rickabaugh, the Note Queen?
I'm gonna Mimi put the comment in the chat, but I was gonna say I definitely think it's cut my teeth over chew your curd. I don't think I'm putting that on you, Dawn. I'm gonna take that away from you.
Chew my cud.
Cud, whatever it is. Yeah, that's curd. Cud. You can tell I didn't grow up on a farm.
I would just say thank you very much. So I've been multitasking, but very committed to listening, and I appreciate it. I don't think I can, maybe I can. There, we're driving. So, but I very much appreciate everything you said because you're my people and I want to do exactly this. I'm one of those lead generators. And I am just kind of tired of the hustle, and I've started making owner finance offers with my cash offer, and I called Marco today and I was like, oh shit, somebody accepted it. Somebody said, let's talk about this offer. So now I have to go put it all together. So I'm like in that scary phase because this will be my first one that I've done from the seller to me. I've owner financed my own properties, but it's definitely exciting. So.
Oh man, that's where the juice is, because look, if you buy one property, it's pregnant with 2 notes. If you buy a partial, so you get one guaranteed note, well, you could keep the property yourself, but if you sell it, you got a guaranteed note and optional note. If you buy a partial, you got that note and it's pregnant with the rest of that note because no one's going to buy a partial behind you. So I like when you buy an asset, plus you have an option for more stuff. I like making money from every deal at least 2 or 3 times, if not more. And that's so exciting to be the buyer. I mean, you got the down payment. I mean, you can afford the down payment, and right?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you for a minute. I hooked up to this Wi-Fi and I couldn't get off. But it's a mobile home on land. It is on foundation. It hasn't been the mobile home title has not been retired yet, but I know how to do that piece. And so I only offered them 5,000 down and monthly payments with no interest. So,
Girl, you got some ovaries. That's what I'm talking about. You know what? That's a great place to start. Why not?
I know, but then I was like, oh my gosh, maybe my payments are too much. Oh my gosh, maybe I should have just offered him 3,000. And it came to me from a wholesaler. And I was really just trying to get rid of the wholesaler because she was like wanting a cash offer, and I gave her a cash offer. But I made it low. It's not in an area that I really want to own a property long term. So that's why this is perfect, because I would find a person to live there and I wouldn't have to worry about renting the property or any of that, because it's about an hour and a half from me.
Yeah. Yep, you're going to turn it around as long as you can get a reasonable down payment or some way to mitigate risk, right? Mm-hmm. And then who cares if you could be upside down a couple $100, right? Are you going to die if you're upside down on the monthly? But because you're amortizing at 0% and you're going to write an 15, 20, 25-year note on this.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Right. So you got all that money. So this isn't today eating money. This is building your future.
Yeah.
But you just don't want the headache of having the other, piece go bad on you. You don't. But wow, good for you.
Right. So I'll be excited. I'm excited to get it all put together and share with others. So, but thank you. What you've said today has helped me, energized me, given me more confidence.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you.
And I will keep making some more offers. So all of you folks, I may need some help if I get a lot of them in the pipeline to put them together. So,
Oh, that's a bad problem. Oh, what a great problem.
I'm right.
Oh, that's a great problem to have.
That's right. So, all right.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Well, good for you. Good for you. That's the way to go, Angel. Sounds like a good deal. Don't beat yourself too much up over 3,000 versus 5,000 down, okay?
Yeah, don't. If you're getting 0%,
that's pretty darn good, okay? 99% versus 100 on a test, okay? That's still pretty darn good. All right. Any other questions? Emma Lynn, hopefully I said your name correctly. Thank you very much for that comment. And I guess there's no more questions. Dawn, thank you. Another thank you from Steve. Thank you, Steve, for the kind words. Okay, thank you so much for coming here this evening, Dawn. I think everyone really enjoyed it and learned a lot. You still got 31 people on here watching you. So you brought great content. You really reached and brought it, and just great job. Thank you so much for joining us.
well, thank you.